Up next, 2 new parks and a nature exhibit featuring young local artists. Stay tuned. This past fall, a new park was opened in Travilah. The grand opening included neighbors, businesses, county officials, and park staffers.
Well, we are almost at the intersection of Travilah Road and Glen Road. We're a little bit south of Glen Road. This is probably almost close to the Potomac section. This is one of the parks that we have developed in this area.
So we have a full-size soccer field, about 225 feet by 360 feet long. We have a destination interpretive playground that interprets how water moves through our watershed from the Appalachian Mountains to the Chesapeake Bay. We have a grass volleyball court, a basketball court, about 2/3 mile long asphalt loop trail. The entire park is accessible. And parking lots, landscaping, stormwater management, the whole sort of mix of things. The theme of the park is an environmental theme. It's fronts on Glen Road, which is a rural rustic road. And so throughout the design, we tried to keep all the elements of the park sort of natural. We have about 1.5 acres of meadow area. All of the stone comes from Montgomery County's last operating quarry, which is Tri-State. And so we tried to keep sort of a rural rustic theme in keeping with the Potomac context.
Where people can come and enjoy and have picnic shelters or activities or even lunch, regular lunches. Down at the bottom, we also have a nice shelter where people can enjoy, and the parents can actually, enjoy lunch while they're playing, their kids are playing on the playground.
I've been driving by this for about 2.5 years, and I've been anxious and waiting for, I have a 7 and a 4-year-old. So we drive by there, it's like, they always asks, when is it going to be open? It's finally here. And totally psyched about it.
The park was originally in the master plan in 1980, and we're just finally opening it up today. But I hope you all agree, as you get to enjoy this park, that it was worth the wait. And one thing that's pretty neat about this park, it's 25 acres. About 15 acres of it is still preserved as a forest, and about 10 acres is developed. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the natural environment and great places for our kids to recreate and play, in the community to get together. I want to really point out that the bulk of the construction was paid for with a program called Program Open Space. That's a Maryland land preservation program that's funded from the real estate transfer tax. A lot of our parks are acquired and built with Program Open Space, and I'm pleased to say that the Maryland legislature and the governor have been pretty strong supporters of that program the last 2 years that helps us build parks. So with that, I want to turn it over to a few speakers before we cut the ribbon.
Thank you, Mike. Boy, the Parks Department really nailed it with this one, don't you think? This is an incredible place. I see there's some volleyball courts up top. I think that's going to be useful for a lot of folks. The soccer field right here, I see the girls team's giving a clinic to the boys team. Anybody notice that? That's pretty awesome. But what a gorgeous field. There's going to be a lot of kids learning to play and succeed out there. And this bike path, this youth path, how many kids are going to learn how to ride their bike right here? Probably a lot of them. I love the playground, the theme, the life of a raindrop. Now you're going to have a chance to see it all visually presented. This is the kind of thing that I hope makes you feel like your tax dollars are going to good use in Montgomery County. We build great facilities. It's a long time coming, but really needed, and so many great people here today that I know are going to take advantage of this wonderful community amenity.
Many of you probably know Bill Hussman was a two-term chair back of the Montgomery County Planning Board back in the late 90s or the mid-90s through the early 2000s, and we're so pleased and proud to dedicate the soccer field behind me in his name today. Long-range Hussman Junior Soccer Field is officially...
Well, it's great to have a space here in the neighborhood with these big play structures, a place for the kids to run around and be safe, and it's nice that they've built the park in a way that's sensitive to the land and the water use around here, and it's a beautiful place and a nice place to meet all our neighbors and some of the other kids around.
Great, a lot of fun places for the kids to run and play, yeah.
It's beautiful, and including that park over there, I love it. Hi, Mom.
I really like about the big park how there's like a ladder and there's like 2 different slides leading up the ladder. It's amazing.
Another new park is currently under construction in Gaithersburg. Let's find out more.
So we're in the middle of constructing the Laytonia Recreational Park. This is a 44-acre park, which is located on Air Park Road. It's sited between the county's new animal shelter and our Pope Farm nursery. And it's basically intended to provide a premier game experience and new recreational facilities for residents across Montgomery County. The main part of the park is 4 new athletic fields. They're all full-sized. We have 3 rectangles and 1 baseball diamond. And then in addition, we've got a lot of supporting features. You can see behind me a shelter building. That shelter building's going to have covered picnic space on either side, and then in the middle is an indoor restroom facility. Off to the right, you can see a playground and a half basketball court. We've got a trail network that links through all the amenities throughout the site. And back off in the wooded area there is an existing natural surface trail, so you can access that natural surface trail through our park as well. We're really excited about this field. You may know that the county banned crumb rubber infill a couple years ago. So this is our first new field since that event. So instead of traditional crumb rubber, this synthetic turf field is going to have an infill that's made of coconut and cork. And you will find that on a very hot day, this field will be as cool as a natural surface field.
Well, this infill, one of the things that we've seen from our studies is that it creates a lower core temperature, which is really important because during the summer months especially, what we're seeing is that a lot of these fields get so hot. And so it really is important for us to head in this new direction, making it safer and making sure that we have longer playability times for our kids, things that we all know are important to our community.
And it is striped for 5 sports, so you'll be able to play football, soccer, men's and women's lacrosse, and field hockey. There'll be a scoreboard, bleachers, lighting for a nice game experience. One of the other really special things about the park is our natural turf fields. While we've got a high-quality synthetic field, we've matched that with our natural turf. We've got the latest grass cultivars. We've amended the soil with compost and sand to provide a great growing medium, and they're fully irrigated. So the park's going to open in 2017 with a staggered opening and fully open by the fall.
More information about the Laytonia Recreational Park can be found at montgomeryparks.org. In December 2016, Black Hill Visitor Center in Boyd's hosted an exhibit of nature art. Let's learn more about this unique competition.
We are hosting the 2016-2017 Maryland Junior Duck Stamp winners. The duck stamps are judged on 4 different grade categories. So we have K through 3rd grade, all the way up to 10th through 12th grade. And all the students competed, and the winners are here, 1st through 3rd place, and then also the best in show. The Federal Fish and Wildlife is the agency that monitors this project. The duck stamp program is probably the most successful conservation effort that the United States government has ever put into place. I think the duck stamp program has raised about $800 million and allowed us to purchase about 6 million acres of land that goes to protecting waterfowl and, of course, a myriad of other animals that live in wetlands. When hunters go to get their license, they need to purchase a duck stamp to be able to do that. And so this artwork, the adult artwork, will go onto that stamp. The junior duck stamp program is a little bit newer. I believe it got started in the 90s. And again, it's an art contest, but it also has an education component to it. So the students are learning about conservation, they're learning about species of waterfowl, and then they tend to pick one that they feel the strongest about, and we'll draw that, and then also create a conservation message to go with that piece of artwork. And those stamps are sold for a little bit less money, and there's no mandatory reason to buy them, but people do purchase them as a collectible because they are truly beautiful pieces of artwork.
The 2016-17 Maryland winner is a resident of Montgomery County.
I feel really proud, but I don't want to gloat, but I feel proud about it. I knew that I would like color and I would like colorful ducks and bright ducks, so I chose that one.
We did not get to work directly with her at Black Hill, but there's some very well-known art schools in the area that dedicate the time with their students that's needed to really produce a quality piece.
I
got to know the Junior Duck program in 2006 when I was teaching at the Hope Chinese School. At that time, I thought it was a very good program to get the kids involved not only in drawing and painting, but understanding nature and the love of nature. So I got 30 kids involved in the first 2 years competing in the program, and the kids absolutely loved it. Since then, I thought, why not set up a program by myself and my wife? I travel a lot with the kids to get a chance to take pictures of wildlife, introduce them to it, especially the younger kids. We've been doing this Junior Duck program since 2006, until this year, 2016. In all of the 10 years, 7 times the studio has won Best of Show in Maryland. In 2009, there was a student from the D.C. area who came to this studio who won Best of Show in D.C. In 2012, a student from South Dakota also came here to study art, and he won Best of Show in South Dakota that year.
Best of Show.
You spend a lot of time on the paintings and you have to put a lot of hard work into it. So when the judges acknowledge your hard work, it feels really nice.
Normally each year they'll give us a list of what ducks are endangered-ish. And from that list you can pick any duck and you can just draw that duck.
Our teaching career started with our daughter's art at home. Our daughter now is a professional artist and opened an art studio in Eastern Maryland. Lu Yi is our daughter's name, and we used her name as our studio's name. After we immigrated to the U.S., we wanted to start a new life and a new career. Since we saw a lot of kids love drawing, we planned to have a studio to teach the kids how to draw and enjoy it. And the drawing especially combines the Chinese art skill and the Western art skill. We've come a long way from the beginning to this point. All we have learned we want to pass to the next generation, teach the kids the skills they haven't learned in school. It's very important that the kids who love drawing have their passion appreciated and put to use.
Black Hill, we're trying to get a club started here, and we'd love to work with a class from an area school that might be interested in creating some artwork for the duck stamp program for the upcoming year or even future years.
The national winners will be on display at the Black Hill Visitor Center, January 31st through February 12th. To find out more, go to montgomeryparks.org. Well, that's it for today's show. Thanks for watching.